Hey guys, Clone Guy here, and today I'm going to do a review on the brick. And my review is going to be very quick and brief, at least in the garage, and then we're going to take out for some gameplay and then some live gameplay later, because I have plenty of games in this tank and we can use it all. This tank is awful, don't buy it. Done, review is over. No, let's actually go into the details. It's an E50M hull, trust me, it's an E50M. An IS-6 turret, um, a T-44 gun, and a Carnarvon engine. All that sounds good because I'm sure you've played all those tanks or heard about all those tanks or something or the other, and you're like, oh, that's really good. Maybe the E50M you don't like so much because of the nerfs it's received, but hey, put that hull at tier 8. That sounds amazing. No, it's not. It sucks. All right, this tank is bad. 7 degrees of gun depression is the first drawback. You think 7? That's not so bad. Type 59 is 7. Yeah, Type 59 is also low profile and has good turret and mobility and is a medium. This tank is tall. Can't aim its gun down at all to save its life. Somebody's face, an E100's facing you, and you can't shoot it in the turret. Nice. No, I'm just kidding. That's an exaggeration. But still, then see this part on the left of your hull? Right now it's on the right. So it's right here. So boom, where my gun is now. The tip of my gun right here. Right all along this. You can't aim your gun down at all. You have 0 degrees of gun depression. Maybe it's 1 degree of gun depression. I don't know. But I'll show you an example of it in one of the games. It's that bad. So if somebody's on your left side like this and you're angling like this, you can't shoot them. You have to angle like this to shoot them, okay? 190 millimeters of penetration on a tier 8 is awful, especially since you have to fight 10s. This thing does not have preferential matchmaking. 250 alpha is awful. It is bad. All right, this thing has the same mobility as a stock E75, not a fully upgraded one, not a half upgraded one, a stock one. All right, this tank is slow. 20% fire chance. You get set on fire getting hit in the back of the tank almost every single time. The gun, as you said, 7 degrees of gun depression is awful on a tall German tank. On a Soviet tank, it's not so bad, but on this tank, it sucks. 2.9 seconds aim time is awful considering you have 190 millimeters of penetration, and you only do 250 alpha. And then 0.38 accuracy is awful considering the same exact things I just said. You're going to be fighting heavy tanks from the front. That's your job. You're going to be you're a heavy tank, and you can't pen their weak spots. You can't hit their weak spots. Like, come on. Nice. E50 tracks. It says E50 tracks, but the hull is an E50M. I promise you that. IS-6 turret only has 350 view range and 150 millimeters of turret armor. And you have no armor behind the mantlet, which means you can get penned through the gun, which is about 40 millimeters, I believe, and then through the mantlet, which is 150, and then through the turret, which is 0 behind there. All you need is 190 millimeters of penetration to break this gun and pen the turret. And guess what? You can do that with your own tank, which is sad because you have terrible penetration. Ammunition doesn't seem like a lot, but it's in a terrible spot, and you get ammo racked a lot. And these two crew members the crew members just die. All right, that's the experience I've had because this tank has no armor. It says it does, but it doesn't. Sixes are penning me through the front while I'm angling. Like, come on, this tank is bad. Don't get this tank. All right, don't get this stupid tank. This tank makes me want to take a steak knife and bludgeon out both my eyes, then take my Xbox, throw it out the window, and then join it. That is what this tank does. And I feel bad for anyone who has bought this tank because it is that bad, and I hope Wargaming compensates you somehow, some way. I hope you get your money back. Just Wargaming. Everybody, we need to like go on the forums or something. Just rage. Buff either A, buff this tank, or B, give us our money back. It's awful. Thankfully, Wargaming has given this to me, and I get it for 2 weeks. But I want them to take it back now. It's only been 2 days. Take it back. Get it out of my site. Please. This tank makes me want to go build a shed. Use nothing but nails to build it. No, I mean use nothing but nails to build it. That means I'm gonna have to use my skull to hammer in the nails. That's what this tank makes me want to do. Yeah, it's stupid, and it's bad, and I don't want it in my life. But I think that's all we're gonna talk about this tank, about its stats. We don't really need to talk about anything else because it's just bad. It's just poo-poo. Let's go watch some games and complain some more about this tank. Oh yeah, well actually one more thing. They advertise it having huge credit multiplier. It does not have a huge credit multiplier. That is a lie. It has a 50% credit multiplier. This has a 50%. This has a 50%. This has a 55%. This has a 57%. This has a 60%. This has a 50%. This has a 50%. This has a 57%. This is a 50%. This is a 50%. This has a 50%. This is a 50%. This is a 45%. This has a 50%. This has a 60%, this has a 65%, this has a 50%, this has a 60%, this has a 60% or 55%. This has a 60%. This has, I didn't check this one, I think it's 57. This one has a 57%. This one has a 60%. This one has a 57%. This one has a 50%. This one has a 50%. The only tank that I just listed that has a lower credit multiplier is the Liberté. That's it. This thing does not make more credits. It's a lie. It has the same exact credit income as an STA2. It has less than a 112, less than a Type 59, less than an ISU. Shut up, Wargaming. This tank does not make extra credits. You're spending $80 to buy a premium tank that is awful in every single way. I'm already going to get kicked out of CC just because of this review, but I don't care. This is just so bad, and people are buying it. The advertising they had were telling you that this tank is awesome, but it's a complete and utter lie. It says armor. No, it doesn't. It has credit multiplier. No, it doesn't. It's a bad tank. This first engagement is going to be against an IS-3, and as you can see, I can't get my gun down quite to shoot where I want to. Now we're finally able to, but it still bounces off his side as we shoot into his tracks. I thought that would have penned, but no, not 190 pen. You can roll pretty low. Yeah, and then that one goes in. But you're going to see again, just this. I can't quite get my gun down on his hull, so that goes into the top of his hull instead of into the front of his hull. And then this is the game we had, surviving in tier 8. And then this next game, we're speeding it up, bounce off the pole of the ISM, and now you see we can't shoot that Conqueror. We couldn't shoot that Conqueror because we couldn't get our gun down because he's on the left of our front. Once again, you see the gun go up as we try to aim at that IS-3 or that T-32. You're gonna see what I do here. I bounce off of his upper plate, aiming at his lower plate, and now we can't get our gun down to shoot these guys because they're on our left side. I have to angle to the right to get my gun down finally to shoot them. And the pen, of course, can't go through the cupola. I wanted to see maybe it can. No, it can't. And then once again, they're on my left side, so I can't get my gun down. So I'm going to have to get in close, and that, of course, leads to a track. I still can't get my gun down to shoot these guys. I can't even see his cupola. You can see there. And it's just, this tank. And you're going to see this entire engagement. I'm going to go away with doing no damage. Lower plate of the King Tiger we bounce off of. Now we're going to get to his side. We track him, he fixes it, and he's backing up pretty much faster than we can go forward. And of course, with that shell, and again, bounces off, aiming at the side of his tank. It's just not a good tank. Look at us go through, what, 3 inches of water? Look how slow we're going. 17 kilometers an hour, 16 kilometers an hour. Wait till we try to turn. It's devastating. Ready? Here we go. And we're turning. Yay! What an amazing vehicle this thing is. Let's see how much money we made. 55,000 credits. Hallelujah, joy to the world. I have never seen so much money in my life. In this engagement, you're going to be seeing me side-scraping perfectly. And I'm spamming the gold, and I'm still doing not much at all. But here I am, side-scraping perfectly. But the biggest drawback about this tank, well, not the biggest, this is the gun depression. Oh yeah, watch this, lower plate into his tracks. We get penned in the turret by a stock E75. The tank is, no. It goes through our turret. Then he goes through our gun and damages our tank. Do you see? Nice. While I'm side-scraping perfectly, just shoot this tank in the turret. What a great idea. Once again, we make an insane amount of money. Yes, for our almost 2,000 damage done. I think that's the most damage I did in this tank all night. I was playing this tank for 2 hours. Oh my gosh. After waiting a few minutes for our other tank to come out of battle, we jump into a Sumo. And this is the game we have. Like, watch this. Look at that. A 150mm gun just bounces off our tank. And then the results speak for themselves. 130,000 credits. Oh, by the way, guys, in case you guys are wondering, I also have surplus earn up on, so I actually don't make as much money. You wouldn't make as much money in the brick as what you're seeing. Here's a clip where the view range comes into effect. 415 meters away, I have binocular telescope on, and would you believe it if I told you that he disappears from 415 meters away? It's not like he stopped moving. He was still moving when he went undetected. Here's going to be the money from that game. It's a good thing we had surplus earn-up, or we would have gone negative in a premium tank. Holy cow, Wargaming. This tank does make a lot of money. I'm so glad that this tank exists. Here's going to be an example of the gun depression over the left side. Look at this. This is me pointing my gun as far down as it possibly can go over the left side. That doesn't even look like it's 1 degree. Maybe half a degree? Is it even pointing down? What is this? You're not allowed to fight tanks from the front in this tank, where your armor is supposed to be. You have to go sight on to tanks if you want to shoot them. Nice meme. How well does this tank take arty shells? Well, let's find out. He's got 3 tier 6 artillery on the enemy team, and oh, that was a tier 6 artillery taking out almost half of his health. Wow, that was amazing. You know, if your armor works in this game, at least there's artillery to make sure, well, that it doesn't. And that's what's going to happen to him here. We're just going to watch him. It's a slow, painful death, guys. Death of 1,000 cuts. Aiming up a shot, and yay, he doesn't kill him with one shot. A tier 6 artillery. He doesn't kill with one shot. Now he's getting pulverized by all the artillery. Yes, once again, tier 6 artillery. He's unable to kill with one shot. Ugh. Don't worry, guys. I'm sure he'll get them. Nope, of course he's not going to get them. He's dead now. Yay, artillery. We then, waiting for that game to end, jump into a game in our Hellhound. And, well, once again, this is just... Here's a tank that's actually good. We pen that guy with Hesh straight through the engine. Nice. Here's the result we had. Look at this. We won the game, and we made 141,000 credits. And our very next game. Uh-oh, here come the 10s again. Hey, we actually penetrated a shot, but hey, he penetrated us too, and now we're getting clipped out by a waffle. Yay, granted we were by ourselves this game, so this one would happen in any tank, but I still wanted to show it anyway. Why would we play that game? May as well get pushed around by bullies in our tortoise, because, yes, because we have a guy next to us who's trying to 3-mark his conqueror, so he's decided, you know, you're not allowed to shoot him. Yay. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Even with this guy trying to bully us, we still had a pretty decent result. And for our final engagement of the night, we're fighting preferential tier 8s, guys, and a preferential tier 7. We got a T95E2 on our left, a Freedom on our right, and an IS-6 on our left as well. Well... How do you think this is going to go? It's going to go beautifully. Our armor is going to work really, really well as we bounce every single shot that hits our tank possibly. And, oh, yay, we missed the Freedom, you know, because of this accuracy. It's so good, and even if we had hit him, we would have done a whole 250 damage. Oh, we don't even have the Alpha to track the IS-6. He then rams us. We get hit in the side by the T95E2, and then load up some gold. We still bounce off the IS-6. He then pens us, and someone else pens us. You know, he's only fighting us from the front. Now we're behind him. We actually put a shell in and damage him. So yay, it looks like we're actually going to be able to get something. Our armor is now turned around. That's a T95E2 who has 170 millimeters of penetration, but he still goes through our lower plate because our tank is so good. So I tell Easy, you know what, I'm done. Let's play a tier 6 and then call it a night. And so now we're playing tier 6 and they throw us at a tier 8 game, and guess what, I've already done more damage in this game than I have done all night in the brick, my 2 hours of playing. Oh my gosh. I mean, look at this. I made more money in this tank, too, than I did in the brick. I did more damage than I did in the brick. Like, I would rather use this tank against tier 8s than the brick against tier 8s. How sad is that? But let's jump into a live game now, guys, as I pull out my hair. We find ourselves on Westfield Winter, a fantastic map to show off the mobility of this amazing piece of machinery. One thing I don't think I mentioned when I was doing the review was the fact that this thing also has 350 meters view range, because... that's amazing. Everybody wants 350 meters view range. I love 350 meters view range. It makes me feel so good, especially since I have to fight tier 10s, you know? What's one thing you can do with your tier 8 vehicles when you're in a bottom tier tank? When you're bottom tier, your tier 10 game with your tier 8 vehicles, what's one thing you can do? You can maximize your view range, so you can at least have that going for you in tier 10 games. You can outspot other tier 10s who don't take optics. You can usually use your mobility if you're in a medium tank to outflank tier 10 tanks. And if you're in heavy tanks, you at least have a large enough caliber gun to at least damage the tracks, blow off the tracks of other tier 10 vehicles. This tank does not have the gun to blow tracks off. It does not have the view range to outspot tier 10s. It does not have the mobility to outflank tier 10s. This tank has nothing going for it. It is so bad that I hope Wargaming gives everybody who bought this tank A, either a refund because it is so bad, or B, kill me please, get me out of this game, or B, they buff this tank because it is so bad. Like, what should they do to buff this tank? Give it an IS-3 turret and give it the T-54 100. Boom, done. Call it a day. Yay, a turret that'll actually bounce shots instead of this terrible joke of a tank. My gosh. Also, oh, dang it, of course, as soon as I go. Oh, it doesn't matter anyway, my turret turns too slowly. I wouldn't have been able to hit him. Slow turning turret. Okay, let's continue. Oh, let's talk about yesterday's video a little bit. I had fun making that, and it was hilarious watching all the comments. How everybody hated it. I think that was the best part. They're like, oh, we hate this. Good. I'm glad you did. And I don't care. I should probably not tell you why, but I'm going to. I should shoot that guy, but I thought to myself, I got the side of the E50. Shoot him. Oh, a Pershing. He'll probably just pen me straight through every... Oh, boy. Yay, he pens me. I love this tank. I love this tank so much. It's so good. It's so good. T-30, get me out of my misery. Like, I can't even be bothered to aim where I'm supposed to be aiming right now because this tank just depresses me. I'm like that depressed right now. Playing this vehicle. It's like, oh, but you just bounced that Sheridan twice. Yeah, that Sheridan was just auto-locking. He wasn't even trying, okay? There we go. Put a shell in him. There goes my gun. Oh, and what you'll find in this tank a lot... Well... What you'll find in this tank a lot is that your gun gets damaged along with your tank because there's no armor behind the gun at all. There's a 150mm mantlet, but there's no armor behind the mantlet, so they can damage your gun. They can damage your gun and damage your tank with the same shot. It's rather disheartening, and I'm so dead. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. And I'm dead. Okay, that's it. This is the tank. It's an amazing vehicle. I love it. It's awesome. I'm not even gonna play it again because I can't. Where's my gun? Stupid squirrel. Alright. Enough of that. Should you go out and buy this tank? Well, if you have a good therapist, yes, I think you should. I think you should absolutely go out and buy this tank immediately. Because, and if you're willing to, you know, give that therapist a lot of money. A lot of money, because it's oof. I'm so glad I'm a CC, so I get to play this stuff. And then get YOLO'd by Jagdpanzer V100s. And not have the real ability to, you know, escape. Or the armor to bounce. Or the gun to pen. Actually, I penned him, but that's only because he was, like, super stupid. I'm not even gonna outro this video. I hate this tank. Don't buy it. Yep. The brick. Goodbye.